spell Tuina?
Tuina, T-U-I space N-A, Tuina. Yeah, I know I try to ask different people if they practice that, but I don't run into a lot of people. I end up going back to Pacific College of Oriental Medicine over there in Mission Valley. Any of y'all familiar with that school?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a real good program over there that I graduated from. So I understand Chinese medicine, and that's basically how I go about helping people, is through a holistic approach. Also, I practice iridology and kinesiology. You familiar with that? Anybody? No?
Yeah.
Okay, one person. I'll explain too. Iridology basically is a modality where we use a special glass and look into the iris. Or I could use a special camera, take a picture of the iris, and I can tell illness and disease in the body from the past, the present, and things that's manifesting in your body now, in the future. Okay, that's iridology. Also, kinesiology is known as muscle testing. Muscle testing, basically, you have different stimulus points on the body, and we use those to detect nutritional deficiencies. And that's indicated by weak muscle tissue. Okay, I might not get to showing you any of that today, but just to give y'all a little information on it. Also, I've done a couple of studies just recently. One of my studies, research studies I did, was on the American diet and how it relates to all these chronic diseases that we're plagued with, like heart disease. You know, even though it's a lot going on about cancer, heart disease still is the #1 illness that kills Americans. It's still #1. Okay? But stroke, heart attack, all of those things, the different cancers are right up there. And I know it's a lot going on with breast cancer, but it's still heart disease. So basically what I do is I help people manage chronic disease or prevent it. It's best to try to prevent it. I like to try to prevent things. But, you know, sometimes some people already have it. They're on all these medications. So I try to help them manage that illness through natural health. So today I'm going to talk about, and I didn't show y'all if anybody was interested, these are the studies that I did. If anybody's interested in those. I'm going to talk about the digestive system. We're going to discuss it and how you can restore and retrieve more energy just through proper digestion. Okay? Try to hold your questions to the end. I'll get to your questions. Let me get through some of the information, and then we can get into maybe some basic general questions about digestion. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. All right. Everybody ready to learn how you're going to feel and look 10, 15, maybe 20, I think this lady said, 25 or something years younger? Y'all ready for that? Yeah? Come on, give me that energy. Yeah. Let's do it then. Anybody that's vegetarian in here? No vegetarians. You're kidding me. Vegans? I guess need not say vegan. Okay. So much for raw foodies, okay. Anyway, a lot of times people get those mixed up, and let me just clarify it now. A vegan and a vegetarian are two different types of people. Vegans basically do not eat any animal protein. Everybody understand that? Meat, basically. No animal protein at all. Some supplements, they have the little capsule, you know, a little pill you can take apart. That little capsule has animal fat in it. So vegans will not eat that. They have herbs or supplements that are made without those capsules. They're called Vegetaran. It's a company that, I forgot one of my posters. One of the companies I've been doing a lot of buying their product and using it, Nature's Sunshine Products, because they have a very high quality product. And this company has been around over 40 years. So they have these products they call veggie tabs for vegans, you know, so they won't have to deal with the animal fat or protein. So I'm going to talk about the digestive system. We're going to get into some enzymes, probiotics. We're going to talk about the mouth. We're going to talk about the stomach, small intestine, large intestine. And we're going to get into some supplements because they're needed. And then we're going to get into your questions, any questions y'all have. That's good? Now, what do enzymes do? According to the National Institute of Health, enzymes are needed for all body functions. They are found in every organ, every cell in the body, including the blood, intestinal fluids, the mouth, the saliva in our mouth, and the gastric juices in your stomach. They all have enzymes. Digestive enzymes give us strength and energy to recharge and live a healthy life. They act as a catalyst. They break down food and they make it possible for the body to absorb nutrients and eliminate waste. Now, this is how you make the digestive system or the digestive process more effective and efficient. Now, why do we need to know this? Because the digestive system takes 60% of energy. 60% of your energy is involved with digestion. So if we learn how to cut some of that, maybe you'll have more energy to do other things other than digestion. We get the process down so efficient and so effective to where your food is passing through there, no problems, you're getting all the nutrients. Hey, you don't need 60%, you might get that down to 50. Who knows, or 40.
Is that why people feel tired, like I feel tired after you eat? Because of that digestion?
That's right, that has a lot to do with digestion, and we're going to get into that. So let's talk about that. The average American, it takes 24 hours for them to digest their meal. 24 hours, okay? The time it goes from your mouth and out the anus. I like to call it from the rooter to the tooth. Okay? And that's important. It's called transit time, right? Transit time. Transit time is basically your food going in your mouth and coming out your anus. Okay? From the rooter to the tooth.
What slows it down?
We're going to talk about that. Okay? But just remember, the average American, 24 hours for your food to digest. Okay? It goes down that intestinal system and it's, you know, the muscles in there are squeezing along, you know. It's kind of like a tube of toothpaste. If you had a tube of toothpaste brand new and you squeezed it, that toothpaste comes out easy, don't it? Try that with an old one that you have no toothpaste hardly in there. You'll be squeezing and squeezing and nothing's there. Now imagine your colon, your intestines. When you don't have fiber in your intestines, that's basically what's happening. You're squeezing and squeezing. Those intestines are trying to move that waste and there's no fiber in there to help it. It's nothing to help to move that along. Okay, I'm getting a little ahead. We're going to talk about the intestines a little later, but I just wanted to let you know about peristalsis. It's that action that takes the food down through the esophagus. Now, please understand that the human body cannot properly digest red meat. It cannot. There are a whole slew of foods that contain enzymes too, and we're going to talk about some of those. Okay? Of course, all of your fruits and vegetables. Do things like greens, asparagus, broccoli, sprouts. You got bean sprouts, alfalfa sprouts. Any plant-based food has enzymes. And aloe vera, Okay, that aloe vera that all of you got, loaded with enzymes. And we're going to talk about aloe vera some more too.
Should you take it in the morning or in the evening? Aloe vera.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. Hold that question. Write that one down. Remember I said I'm trying to get through some stuff. Write that question down. We're going to come back to it. Okay, the enzymes help to break down your food and allow proper digestion and absorption of nutrients. Okay, that's basically what's happening there. So all this cooked food, it's just messing up digestion. When you put heat to it, you're killing enzymes. Okay, non-cooked foods contain all the enzymes that your body needs. Eating raw fruits and vegetables, that's one way you can get enzymes. But many of us can't get enough enzymes because of the different problems that we have. Unless you're like a vegetarian, vegan, a raw foodie, they probably get a lot more enzymes and a lot more nutrients from their food than the average person that's eating this cooked food. Also, many people have digestive problems. They have a lot of toxic waste in their digestive system. It's full of a lot of junk, and that makes it hard for your body to break down the food. All this toxin and waste in the way. Also the quality of your fruits and vegetables. Today there's big farming, real big farming in America, right? If you don't know, it is. Farmers get subsidies from the government, okay? And they don't rotate the crops. No. It's no more rotating. If you ever looked into how our food is processed, you would probably be boggled. It says rotate the crop and all that. Well, if you don't rotate the crop, basically the microbacteria in the soil is not there. And if you don't have the microbacteria in the soil, you don't have any nutrients. Whatever you're growing from that soil is depleted of nutrients. You got to have a microbacteria. And when they don't rotate it, and when they're doing all this high-tech stuff, we got GMOs now. I mean, that's even crazier. But you go on some of these farms, they got chickens all caged up, and it's like billions of them. They just producing chickens. The food is depleted of nutrients. So what do you have to do? Instead of eating the substandard foods, you got to go to like farmers markets. A lot of the farmers markets, this is why organic is so important. Okay, some people I know, they say, I'm not organic, that's just a lot of money, I'm wasted. No. When you're certified organic, you can guarantee you're going to get the nutrients out of those fruits and vegetables versus something that's not organic. You're going to get the nutrients there. So organic is important. Not even farmers markets. There's a lot of local gardens that have been shooting up, right? A lot of the schools doing it. The kids are involved in it. All these local gardens, they're making sure that their soil is rich and has the microbacteria that it needs. Because they don't have to worry about subsidies from the government. Okay? So organic is real. It's needed. Eating raw food. Okay, I know a lot of people can't become vegetarian. Maybe they don't want to get into raw food. It takes time to do that stuff. It took me probably over a period of something like 10 years to get off all this different cooked food and start eating healthier. Okay, something like 10 years. I mean, I didn't do it the fast, quick, and easy way. I did it the hard way. The hard way is making it a part of your lifestyle. When you make it a part of your lifestyle, you don't change overnight. Not this week you're eating cooked food, next week I'm eating raw food. Then you're back to cooked food. Then you're back to raw food. You bounce around. That's just like dieting. It's like a yo-yo. You're bouncing. That's not good. You got to make it a part of your life. Do a little bit at a time. You know, I went from drinking cow's milk to drinking 2%. How many of y'all like 2%? 2% milk. It's almost like water. Then I went from 2% to drinking almond. At first it was a little different. You got to adapt the taste in your mouth. You got to do that for anything. I had to adapt the taste in my mouth to drink alcohol. Nobody can tell me that alcohol, drinking vodka, gin, any of that stuff tastes good. You got to adapt the taste for it. Same thing with this natural foods, these raw foods. You got to adapt the taste for it. Once you adapt the taste, hey, no more cow's milk. You get milk that's from nuts. But of course, the plant is the most perfect source of food on the planet. So if you're eating plant-sourced food, you can't go wrong. Another way, if you can't, incorporate more raw food in your diet, and I'm actually trying to incorporate more, even though I'm a vegetarian. I only eat fish, I don't eat dairy, and so that's about it. No dairy, and I only eat fish. It's only if I get stuck out somewhere, and I have to go to some restaurant, then if they got chicken, then I may eat chicken. But that's about the only other meat, if I get caught in a situation, I would eat. Other than that, it's fish.
You eat eggs?
No dairy. I said no dairy. And yeah, maybe I should explain no dairy, because some people say, you don't eat cheese? Don't cheese come from the cow?
Yeah.
Don't ice cream come from the cow? I don't eat ice cream. Come on, what? No dairy.
But eggs, you don't eat eggs?
Yeah, they're considered dairy. Or what is eggs? Are they considered poultry?
Poultry.
Yeah, I don't eat chicken. Only if I get stuck out somewhere. Yeah. The plant, okay? Let me give you some more juicing. If you can't get into the raw foods, because I was trying to incorporate maybe about 50% of raw food in my diet. I already make a lot of vegetarian dishes, and these dishes are pretty good. I'm telling you, I was never cooked. But when I had to start cooking for myself and eating healthier, I started learning how to make this food palatable for me, not just me, but for some other people. We go to these, you have potlucks and stuff, then I would bring some of the healthy stuff, and I would get somebody to taste it, though, that's not a vegetarian, to make sure it tastes good. And hey, I start cooking pretty tasty stuff, so it could be done. Now, if you're not willing to jump right into that or do a little bit at a time in the raw food, juicing. Juicing is a simple way to get into raw food and get all the nutrients that your body needs. All the enzymes are right there, right? Anybody juice? Okay, see, good. Now, what I recommend usually is if you're like hospitalized or just got out of the hospital, or maybe you had some surgery, something like that, where your body has been compromised, you should probably juice. Get a juicer, not a high-speed blender. And the difference is when you get a juicer kicks the fiber to the side, right? When you do that, somebody has a compromised system, you've been in the hospital, you're bedridden or whatever, it takes a lot less off of your digestive system to just digest that juice versus having that fiber in there. Because that fiber can be, a little bit much to digest for somebody, right? If you're hospitalized or whatever situation, you have some chronic illness. So juicing, I recommend for them. Everybody else, you don't have no digestive disorder, you're not been diagnosed with nothing, you know what I'm saying? High-speed blender, I would say. Because then you get two. You get the fiber and you get the juice. Okay? And the juice, of course, is loaded with the enzymes and the nutrients. So that's what I would recommend.